szép hangja van. Nem semmi. Nem tudom, hányat fordul, mire lő egyet.
Nem tudni, mert nem tudod megszámolni, azt hiszed, hogy úgy látod, de nem.
Hát az. Úgy, mint a 8-at forognak. Ez azt hittem, olyan darabosan jár.
Hát ez nem gőzvér, ez dízel, nem? Ez dízel. Ez egy dízel motor.
Ahhoz akkor is, hogy milyen halk, tehát hogy...
Alig szólja.
I think you'll find it better.
Ezzel dolgoztak régen. Mi? Ez hajtotta a...
Ja, igen, gondolom ezt az izét. Aha. Jó.
És akkor így szélünk erre.
Sort of thing that every motorcycle should have, but capable of quite outstanding performance, but comfort with 3 wheels rather than 2, so less likely to fall off. That's the theory anyway. Well, notice it even longer, or is it? The wheelbase is the same, but the driver is sitting a bit further forward. This was a forward conversion that I think Carmichael's did originally, and then 1 or 2 other people, Claire and Eventon were cutting a few about as well afterwards, but the idea was that the driver sat in front, so therefore there was more load carrying capacity. This wasn't the fastest vehicle on the road, but you could get to a lot of places once you got there, that's the thing. And for a works fire engine, it was just a job, because you didn't want an absolute speed, you wanted somewhere you could get to where the actual fire was, rather than somewhere a long way away. Nice find anyway. And he's got a trailer pump on the back as well. But he's got the trailer pump detachable. So that is the, and that's the rare Coventry Climax engine on there as well. Which later on, of course, became the power unit of the Hillman Mink, the Hillman Inn. Oh dear, right, now this is a rather older Land Rover. This is what I say, if you keep them going, they keep going. And how long is this? So, yeah, it's just getting nicely run in. And you've got a trailer on there as well. This was the absolute sort of typical thing for the rather more prosperous farmer in the 1950s, because he could buy the Land Rover and he could buy a massive trailer rather than just relying on anything that was about. But certainly a rare find these days, a Brockhouse trailer. And notice the milk churns in the back as well. Now this is rather an interesting thing, because of course father and son here, because we got a vehicle that's spent all its life in one village almost, isn't it?
Yes, it was owned by a gamekeeper in Roud, so within 5 miles of here, and it's lived within 5 miles of Headington all its life. Yeah.
My word, I wonder if it's ever gone outside the area, or is there a geographical limitation on it? You'll have to try a long distance trip one day, 20 miles, to see what happens. Cheers.
Milyen nagy itt kell ott forduljon?
A dupla kerék van hátul.
Hello, another Series 1 a Series 1 Land Rover. A Brockhouse trailer again, but on the back is another smaller Land Rover and a smaller trailer. Can you, will you be getting the rest of the set? Will you do another 2 eventually and put a dinky right at the top with the... I'll bet they do. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good fun, that one. Series 1 Land Rover. And again, as I said with the other one,
De Land Rovert hogy megcsinálták? Alig na, ez nincs óra szinte. Hogy előre rakták a fülkét.
This is a Jeep, and this is the Sophie. Now, is this the Ford or the Willys? This is the Willys Jeep, yeah. They were produced by Ford and Willys mainly in vast quantities during the war. But this is rather unusual because this is actually marked for the US Navy, so shore patrol, I suppose. Try and keep the sailors under control. It's usually followed shortly by all the steering components running into difficulties. So it's one of those things, it's got a very tight turning circle, but you don't shout too much about it. But nice car, and of course what about the last car with the so-called chassis? But rather distinctive. And that is the 1200 engine. Another Morris now. This is not the Morris Minor, this is slightly later, this is the Morris 8, and what's this, about 37? Oh, so one of the first convertibles. But what a nice vehicle on a day like this. You can't beat it. Yeah. But you'll notice the caution. The driver's only unzipped his own area. He's left the rest covered up in case of a sudden shower. Be on the safe side. And of course, they were one of the first cars with hydraulic brakes. But of course, not everybody has an open car. They've got the other alternative. They can open the windscreen as here, and they can open the roof, so they can get the weather in. But when it is not quite as weather as it is today, they can shut the windscreen, they can shut the roof, and they're then still in the dry in theory. And this was designed by Laurie Brond, who was an aircraft designer. On the other hand, it's the old thing, it's time and place for all vehicles, but this is rather nice. And of course, the great thing is, for a certain generation, everybody could draw the E-Type from memory almost as outline. But this is the later one with the power bulge as well, so it's going well. No, that's true. No, this is an interesting one. This is the Peugeot, but not quite a standard Peugeot with...
I thought this was a go-go mobile. That just shows you what little I know. But anyway, it's a Nissan, so made a little before we had a nice factory up in the north of England. So is this effectively the Japanese mini car that got round some of the Japanese wrecks? Wonderful display of what used to be the British motor industry here, and some exquisitely presented motor cars, a great tribute to their drivers, and in some cases the families are put up with somebody going out outside and busy polishing cars and making them look really good for an event like this. Also some examples of cars that were taken to pieces and made into other things. So, for instance, when we look at the Triumph Herald, quite a lot of special cars use Triumph Herald bits. My own car did that. It used the front suspension of a Triumph Herald, the back axle from a Wolseley 1500, and an engine from a Ford Cortina. So.
is een fout.
And in the colonies they weren't so refined as they were over here, so they tracks were rotten and stuff like that, so they changed up by the ground clearance. Okay. So this is what they call a log burner box. The firebox actually back to here. So it was
Hogy a víz vizet vezet.
Ja. Ja. hatalmas gép van. Hol?
thing with a foreign implant in the middle. So tell me about your bike.
This one is a 1959 Triumph Tiger 110, 650 parallel twin. This was an alternative colour that they did from the factory. 58, the black was on the top, the ivory was on the bottom, but 59 they did this. And this was the actual model that Triumph took in 59 and turned into the iconic Bonneville that everybody knows.
Oh, so the predecessor of that, so that's ideal. Now, this is the Honda. Now, this was yeah, pretty good. You know, I can read fuel tanks. Yeah, and then he takes it off the fuel tank. Now I'm in trouble. But these were the sort of the interlopers. So what's the model of this one?
Honda CG125, 1993. It's got a Honda CV 360 tank. Got a Triumph Bonneville exhaust. Honda City Fly exhaust pipe, front pipe. Triumph Tiger 100. Mud guards. It's a bit of a scrambler.
A bit of an unusual machine, yeah. But the way forward. Now, what about this Triumph? Now, this is the Tiger Cub, a little bit earlier, I should say.
Yeah, it's a 1960 Triumph Tiger Cub. It's 200cc.
Nem elérd, de lehet alszik. Nem. Ah. Safe. V8 6750 köbcenti.
Háromsebességes autó. Mit lehet ez az meg? Mi?
Ja.
De hát még így is drága.
Bye.